Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today I am doing this, which is a nice grey, warm, smoky eye, and I'm giving you 3 lip combos to wear with it. So if you'd like to see how I got this look, just keep on watching. Bye guys. So right here I am going to be priming my eyelids using the MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm just going to put this all over my lid, as you can see, on both sides, and then I'm going to put a little bit underneath just to act as a primer there as well. I use my finger to do this because I find it easiest, and I find that I get the best coverage doing this. But obviously if you feel more comfortable using a brush, go for it. Right, so now I'm done. I'm just going to set that using my almost run out NYX finishing powder in the shade Banana. This is also great for setting under your eyes. I'm just going to put that on a fluffy brush and just quickly put that all over where I've put the MAC Paint Pot primer. This will allow any eyeshadow we put on top to go on a lot smoother. Now I'm going to take the Jaclyn Hill palette and I'm going to start with the shade Puta on the same fluffy brush. I'm just going to lightly tap off any excess and put this into the highest part of my crease. I tend to raise my eyebrows a bit because it makes it easier to get it onto the highest part, and then when you relax again it settles down into the crease. Don't forget to do windshield wiper motions and also circular motions to fully blend that out. We want this to be completely blended. And I'll just repeat that on the other eye. So as you can see now, that's completely blended. Sorry about the light today guys, it's a bit cloudy outside, so it's a bit hit and miss. And I don't have any light stands just yet. I have ordered them, but they're on their way. Just have to wait for them to arrive. Right, now because I'm doing a smoky eye, I'm taking inspiration from an Instagram post I saw the other day by Beautician. So I don't know if you can see that, but that's the look I'm sort of taking inspiration from. Instead of a halo look, because it doesn't really suit me, I'm going to be doing a smoky eye, so starting light at the inner corner and then working my way out to dark. So now I'm going to take my slightly darker brown, which is still quite a neutral brown, which is from the Jaclyn Hill palette again, and it's the shade Mocha. And I'm going to put this just on the outer corner and into the crease, ever so lightly. And just drag it in to the crease and put it on the outer V. So obviously this is the lighter of the browns, so it doesn't matter if it's a bit messy because we're going to go and tidy that up in a minute. Always make sure to blend all the colours into each other so it looks seamless. Okay, so as you can see, that's just a start. Okay. Now if you want this to have a more sharper outside corner, you can put sellotape like I've done in my other videos, which I'll link down below. But because I'm going for a quite soft smoky eye today, I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going nice and fluffy and easy. Now obviously you can put as little or as much of this on as you want. I always find Jaclyn Hill and Morphe shadows so buildable and such lovely texture to them. So just build it as much as you want until you think it looks how you want. And then we're going to go in with a slightly darker shade called Chip from the same palette. Now this has to go on the extreme outer corner, as you can see, and very lightly put it on and drag it in. We want to keep this as close to the outer corner as possible to give the whole effect, the like cat eye effect. Always try and blend up and away to the outer corner. As you can see now, we've got a bit of a gradient going in there. So we're going to go back in with Mocha, a slightly lighter one, and just blend that dark in a bit towards the centre of the eye. And then we're going to repeat this on the other eye. Once we've got that done, we're going to go in with a different brush, which is this one. Don't know if you can see it. Can you see that? And we're going to go in with the shade Hustle, which is sort of a off browny grey colour. We're going to put that in the centre of the eye and take it slightly inwards. I'm doing it with a dry brush first, just to see if it gets the right effect, and if it doesn't, I might be going in with some MAC Fix Plus. Obviously this is quite a cool shade, whereas we've been using warm ones, so I'll have to blend it just a little bit. So here I'm just like lightly patting it on and pushing it into the eyelid, and then dragging it towards the outer corner to start mixing it in with the darker browns. Right, so on the same brush I'm going to take a spritz of MAC Fix Plus. You don't want too much, otherwise it just doesn't go on quite right. Going in the same colour, I'm also going to put a dab of Meeks on, which is the goldy colour next to it, just to warm it up slightly, and dab that on top of what we've already put on, just to add that bit more shine, a bit more colour pale. Okay, and just repeat it again on the other eye. Now we've got them colours on, we're going to go back in with our fluffy brush and a bit of Mocha again, and just completely make sure it's all blended. But only a tap of Mocha just to blend it out, okay? And once you're fully happy with your blending, we're going to move on to eyeliner. Now I'm going to be using the Kohl & Contour by Bourjois Paris in shade Brune Design, which is this. This is all I've got left. And I'm just going to lightly do a small wing. If you can hear kids' voices, we've got little Spanish kids outside playing in the street. And I've got all my windows shut, but you can still hear them because they're screaming and shouting. So sorry about that. Then we're going to also tight line. With the same brown colour. Now obviously if you feel more comfortable not doing a wing, that's completely up to you. It's just what I prefer. I always do a wing every day. If you look at most of my Instagram posts, that's what you'll see me wearing. I'll link my Instagram down below, just so you can see. And then we just need to tight line. And that eye. Try and make the transitions as smooth as possible, because we're going to be adding false lashes to this in a bit. But firstly, we're going to just sort of prep the lashes for falsies by curling and putting a drop of mascara on. Not a lot, because you won't really see, it's just to blend it in really. So I'm using the Younique Moonstruck Epic Mascara, which was sent to me by Younique. It's a lovely mascara for a bit of definition and volume. And I will obviously link all my products that I use in this video down below and where you can buy them. And any discount codes I know of or offers that are on at the minute. Now obviously you don't have to wear falsies, you could go with just mascara, but seeing as I'm doing a sultry sort of smoky eye look, I'm going to add it just for that extra oomph, but it's obviously completely your choice. So I'm going to go and do that now because I'm not very good at doing it on camera, and I'll be right back in 2 minutes, okay? Right, so there you go, these are the eyelashes I've put on. They're dramatic as anything, and they're from the brand Anitude. She was well, she is a makeup artist on YouTube called Makeup by Anne. I'll link her channel down below as well. And I've used the House of Lashes lash adhesive to put them on, which is an absolutely amazing adhesive. It sets clear, goes on really easily and stays for hours. Anyway, right, so now we're going to do our bottom lash line just to round off the eyes, and then we're going to start on the face. So just taking a little liner brush like this. That's not really the real name for it, can't remember what it is now. But we're going to take the darkest brown chip and lightly go in the outer edge. I'm just going to bring that down towards the middle on both eyes. Like that. And then using a pencil brush, like this one from Morphe, we're going to take the first shade that we used in our crease, which was Puta, and we're just going to blend that brown down the whole bottom lid. Excuse the faces. This way it sort of ties the whole look together. So there you go, that's almost the final look. We'll finish off highlighter and everything later. So now I'm going to quickly just do my brows. I'll be using the Too Faced Bulletproof Brows in Universal Brunette, so it looks a bit like this. Don't know if you can see that. And I'm just going to quickly do that and set them using my Brow Drama by Maybelline. This is in shade medium brown. Okay. Right then, so now I'm going to move on to the face. Now I'm using Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Stick Foundation, god that's a mouthful, in the shade Y225 or 117. Now it's so easy to apply, you just basically draw on your face. It's such a buildable coverage, this foundation. So I tend to just sort of do that and then blend it all in with my Morphe M439 brush, which is that nice big buffer brush. Now obviously you can use a sponge for this, but I just find it so much quicker and easier using this brush. Now, with it being summer here in Spain now, you can see it's slightly lighter than my actual colour, but we can rectify that with bronzers and stuff like that in a bit. Do not forget to blend this out on your ears. Just looking in the viewfinder and I look so pale right now. But yes, don't forget to blend down your neck, on your ears and in your hairline. There you go. Right, so now we're just going to do underneath our eyes, just lighten that up a bit. And for this I'm going to use the Bourjois Paris Healthy Mix Concealer in the shade 52 Medium Radiance. Now I tend to dab this on with my finger because it's quite a strange sort of formula. Just put a little blob on my finger. You can always add more, it's better to go in with less and then add more after. Now I just sort of do like a V shape, I don't know if you can see that there. On both eyes and just drag it down and out to the temples. Now a lot of people sort of put this on their high point, so I tend to use a powder for that. But what I've got left on my fingers, I'm just going to put it on places like this where I might have an imperfection or anything like that. Then I'm just going to use the same buffing brush as before, very lightly, sort of dab to sort of put that in place. Now I find this shade quite yellowy, but that's good for sort of under your eyes. It hides dark circles better. I don't know if you just heard, but my dog just came in the room. Reggie! Reggie! Come say hello. See if you can see him. Reggie, come here. Oh, oh. So this is my little boy Reggie. My little beautiful boy. I've also got another one called Zach, who's an American Staffy, but he's sort of quite solitary, likes to go downstairs and be on his own. Whereas Reggie's sort of a mummy's boy and needs to be with me. So now that's all blended in, we're going to get a damp beauty sponge. Typical this one isn't damp, so I'll be back in a second with a damp one. And we're going to use the same NYX finishing powder that we used to set our eyelids to set wherever we put concealer. Right, I'll be back in a second. Right, so I'm back with my damp Real Techniques beauty sponge. And what I'm going to do is basically, using what I've got left, pick up some of this on here, like that, and just ever so carefully pat it where we put the concealer. Okay? Now you don't want your beauty sponge too wet, otherwise it just ends up wiping all your makeup off. So just keep squeezing it out until no more comes out, and that should be about right. Obviously using powder gives you more of a matte finish. Now I've got naturally oily skin, so that's quite good for me. But obviously for those that don't want to have a matte finish, I would recommend using a sort of a non-matte primer and products that will give you sort of a bit more glow. Whereas obviously this is more mattifying. Now once you've got it all sort of blended out, like that, as you can see it's completely covered my dark circles. And we're going to go in with a cream bronzer. Now obviously where I've been with The powder I'm not touching, which is why I can do this second, but normally you shouldn't put powder on until you're finished with all your cream products because it will set it, okay? So I'm kind of breaking the rules. So now I'm using the Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel in Universal Bronze. And what I'm going to do is almost sort of contour, but what I tend to do is put it on with this thin Morphe stippling brush, and then I'll go back in with my buffer brush from Morphe and sort of blend it out completely. This is sort of like the first coat, as it were. It just sort of outlines it where I want to be slightly browner. But yes, I tend to follow the sort of idea of contour around the outsides of my face, jawline. And then I also tend to try and put a little bit wherever the sun would touch, like the tip of your nose, your chin, and it just sort of all brings it together. So now I've started by putting it on with a small stippling brush. Put my lid on. I'm going to just go and blend it so it's all sort of uniform instead of just a big orange stripe down my face. Now, for ease of use, I do use this one because it just blends it so much quicker and gives such a natural finish. So once you've blended it all in, you should end up with something looking a bit like that. So obviously now the face is a bit warmer, it matches a bit better to your chest, your shoulders, your neck. Now I'm just going to take my brown eyeliner again because I've just noticed that I've missed a bit, and do my inner corner on the top waterline. And just up to where the eyelashes start so it blends it a bit in, blends it in a bit better. Now I'm going to be using my Morphe 9B blush palette, and as it's sort of a warm look on the eyes, I'm going to be using this shade right here, the middle shade, on an angled blush brush. And because these shades are so pigmented, I'm just going to do a couple of dabs and then tap it off, and then very, very lightly, starting on the outside, and work my way in. You don't want to sort of come in further than your pupil, the centre of your eye, otherwise you end up looking a bit like a clown. This way it looks more natural, and it makes you look a bit younger, if I'm being honest. Which everybody loves, don't they? Right. Now just to finish off the eyes completely, I'm going to take my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, which I've wedged in. There we go. My Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and just do my bottom eyelashes quickly. You can see me so hard trying not to open my mouth and gape in the mirror. So now you can see that's the eye look completely finished. And I'm just going to do highlighter, which technically could be part of the eye look, I guess. But I'm going to take a tiny, tiny brush, this tiny, tiny, tiny brush, and I'm going to apply the Mary Luminizer by the Balm, using this on the very inner corners. And using the same brush, I'm also going to put this on the brow bone. And I tend to sort of gently rub it in with my finger so it's not just like a stripe of highlight, even though that's basically what it is. And then using a fan brush, I'm going to do my face exactly the same. So high points on the cheekbones and just sort of blend it in with the eyebrow. In sort of a V shape. I'm going to do the tip of my nose on the bridge, and then the Cupid's bow. Now, as my eyes are really quite neutral, you can put whatever colour lip you want with it, really. I mean, I wouldn't recommend, if you want your eyes to be the main feature, a hugely sort of in your face colour, but I'll show you a couple of options now, shall I? So my first option is going to be the Stunner Lip Paint in the shade Uncensored by Rihanna, Fenty Beauty. So I'll be using this one. It's just a strange applicator. I absolutely love the feel of this liquid lipstick. It's one of my favourite for texture. I do find with red you have to be so perfect. So as you can see, it does sort of go with a red lip. I wouldn't actually wear this on a night out. I find it too dramatic, too in your face. So I would tend to go for a more neutral colour. Maybe sort of like the NYX Cosmetics Lingerie in shade 12. This sort of colour might complement. Or I'd go for a sort of glossy shade, which is quite sort of popular at the minute. Or a nude. So we're going to take this off now, and then I'll show you what the other colours look like. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Right then guys, so the next shade I'm going to try is that lingerie shade by NYX. So, red's an absolute bugger to take off, as you can see there's still a bit left. But we'll cover it up with this. Now the texture on this is just exactly the same as the one by Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. It dries a lot quicker though. I mean this is my favourite shade, so I use this all the time. It lasts so long. And I think this is probably one of the best colours for this as a combo. So I've got one more colour shade to show you, so I'll take this one off, put that one on, and I'll be right back. Right, so my last shade, it's going to be this one, which is by Max Factor, and it's a shade Pashmina 740. And it's sort of like a goldy, peachy, pinky colour, I don't know if you can see. There you go. So I'm going to put that straight on. So as you can see, this is probably the most neutral, natural, obviously except for the glitter, out of all of them. And yeah, this goes pretty well as well. So for me personally, I would choose either this one that I'm wearing now by Max Factor or the NYX one. I wouldn't go with the red, but however the red for me would go perfectly with just a simple winged eyeliner, really sharp cutting eyeliner, or something a bit more sort of dramatic in your face. I mean, for some people this might be dramatic, but you know, for me this is quite sort of nice and neutral. Right guys, so if you enjoyed this video, please do not hesitate to give me a thumbs up and leave your comments down below in the comment bar. I will list all the products I've used, including the 3 lip options, in today's video down below also. And please do not forget to subscribe. Take care guys, see you later.